It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on SABC3 as we move closer and closer into the holidays, at least for us, but the whole country is in holiday mode already. Summer's here, on track to be the hottest summer in decades. We've got water restrictions in some parts of the country, so all the more reason for you to focus on keeping yourself safe while having fun in the sun. And that's why Dr. Darren Green is here this morning.
Yeah, the radiation levels have been off the charts. People are dealing with 40-degree temperatures up north. Heat stroke is a massive, massive concern.
It is indeed. And, you know, the problem is just we don't realise that the young children and the elderly are particularly prone to heat stroke because they regulate their body's temperatures a lot slower than middle-aged people, for example. But per definition, heat stroke is when your core body temperature rises above 40 degrees.
Okay.
And you can imagine metabolically, if your blood is actually boiling in your vessels, how it affects the different organs. The brain, the kidneys, the heart, and the muscles are affected. So imperative to realise before we get to those complication stages that you need to activate prevention in order to prevent those complications.
Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about the dangers and maybe even some of the symptoms that you can take note of to know, OK, I'm in trouble now.
So what happens? So on the way to heat stroke, you have heat exhaustion first, which is basically from spending time in the sun, associated with dehydration as well, not getting enough fluids, prolonged periods of exposure. So you'll get the lethargy, the tiredness, the fatigue. You'll get the red skin, etc. That then progresses without sweating even, because you don't have enough hydration. And then, of course, you then progress where the central nervous system becomes affected, where you start becoming a bit giddy, confused, disorientated, and it can even eventually lead to things like seizures and then eventually death.
So what do we do if we now have identified the fact that ourselves or someone that we know is experiencing this? What do we do? What's the first step?
The first thing you need to do is activate an ambulance because we need to get them to a medical care centre as soon as possible. Then you need to transport or transfer the patient to a cool place. So if the only thing you have around you is a tree or a canopy somewhere, you do that immediately, or an air-conditioned environment if possible. You unclothe them. This is one time you're allowed to unclothe the patient. So you do that quickly and briefly. And then obviously we can use cooling mechanisms, and there are quite a few. But using something like a spray, just a tepid water spray with fanning can decrease the body's temperature with 0.3 degrees per minute.
Okay, all right.
And what we want to do quickly is get the temperature under 40 degrees as soon as possible. That, obviously accompanied with cool fluids, etc. But if the patient has lost consciousness and all that, you need to get expert medical advice and get the CPR sequence ready, the airway, the breathing, the circulation, etc. But then, of course, we also need to consider long-term care and ice baths and putting ice blocks or packs in the areas that have lots of blood vessels, under the armpits, in the groin, behind the neck, and the back. Those are the areas that are crucial.
Oh, Doctor, thank you so much. Wow. I think, but preventing is better than cure at the end of the day, so make sure that you keep yourself hydrated. Use that sunblock and, don't spend so much time in the sun as well.
Yeah, just regulate and know that the UV levels are incredibly high at the moment, certainly down here in the Cape, so protect yourself. Well, we're from outdoors to indoors. We now look for a little bit of luxury in the bathroom.